here with the band called Sex. My name is John Michael. We're gonna start with each individual here, starting from the left. Can I get your name?
I'm Ben. I play guitar.
Guitar.
Trent, I play bass.
Trevor Brown, sing and guitar.
I'm Trey, I play drums.
I'm Kendall, guitar.
I'm Andrew, I play keyboard.
Alright. Spectacular names, spectacular artists.
Hell yeah.
Alright. So first off and foremost, how did we all meet together? How did we find each other? And how did the band come together?
So me and Trent knew each other in elementary school, and we ended up going to community college together and started doing like joke music, and Trent and Trevor actually went to high school together, and we knew Trevor could play guitar and sing. We thought, let's just do like a little joke band for fun, and we were just playing like joke songs about sex and other stuff that like 19-year-old guys were joking about, and that's where like the joke name came from. It was never meant to be like a super serious thing. But then we started thinking like, oh, it's kind of fun, we sound kind of good, let's start doing some serious music and trying to make something that's not fully a joke. And then community college ended and we all went off to like transfer, and it ended up all going to LA. Me and Trevor went to Northridge, and Trevor went to UCLA, and then he met the gnarly musicians that are in our band now.
Yeah, and then, you know, at that time we were just a three-piece, and it was like, we were all kind of decently new musicians that were not really like we all loved music. It was more of a creative endeavor rather than like something we were really disciplined in. Not like we didn't like work hard to create. We were certainly disciplined in our creativity, but more so our technical skill on instruments were like
Lacking.
I've been playing since I was like 16, and they actually picked it up recently just for the band, and you know, we've been really working hard to like learn how to play music together, but we really wanted like some fucking, can I swear? Yeah, I can swear, right? Some really good, talented musicians that really like had mastery over their instruments. So I went to music club at UCLA for the first time, maybe second time I went, and I met Ben, who really kind of stood out as just a really beaming young guitarist. And then I think, and then I met Kendall probably first or second time, mutual friends or something. We ended up following each other on Instagram, and then I was just looking for another guitarist and saw him and really liked he had like fun parodies, like Ed, Ed and Eddie was actually one of the first things I saw, and when I saw that I was like, this guy seems like a good fit. And then we had a show planned in Isla Vista, and one of our keyboarders that we originally had fell through, just a friend of a friend, or no, just a friend from music club as well. And Kendall knew Andrew and invited Andrew to come jam with us, and Andrew's been jamming with us ever since. So that's pretty much how we've all come to our music together.
So we're following the group coming together. How did the name come in place?
That was from like the joke stuff. The joke songs were like about like porn and sex and dumb like young dude stuff. So we're like, let's just do a dumb joke name.
We had Porn Lady, which was about a sex worker dating a sex worker. There were
quite a few.
Fleshlight.
Yes.
None of those songs we really play live.
Father King stuff.
Father
King stayed.
And then we got up here and we were like, we spent like a month like, should we do a different name and like talking about it? But so many people thought it was like memorable and fun, and like we kind of already played some shows.
Yeah, really just like it stands out, and you know, that kind of was the main allure of the band. It really was just a parody. Just a fun little like goofy name that was stupid, and it ended up being one of the most. We would spend like practice after practice trying to figure out a new name, but actually Kendall was like one of the like diehard advocates saying that we should just keep it, and we ended up keeping it, and it's really grown on all of us.
I like it. You know, the name fits perfectly with the songs.
Thank you very much.
The next question is, what or who has been the group's greatest inspiration?
King Gizzard.
King
Gizzard,
for sure.
You play a lot of songs like that.
I like that one song, I'm in Your Mind.
Oh, yeah.
At the start.
Dude, yeah. We have a lot of different.
Led Zeppelin was a big influence.
Yeah, Yeah.
Black
Beatles,
Sabbath.
of course.
The Beatles.
Yeah, it's a really hard, a lot of classic rock, a lot of like maybe early metal, and certainly a lot of psychedelia. I think a lot of us individually have our own, like we come to the table bringing our own different swath of musical inspiration. So like personally, I really like Gizzard and Led Zeppelin, like
Van Halen.
and Van Halen, super big fans of those too. But the rest of us have a lot of different inspirations.
Now, my next question to follow is, what challenges have you all faced pursuing your passion and love?
Coming up with a band name.
Fuck. We're all in college, so it's hard, you know. It's a lot of time, and this
Yeah.
band takes a lot of time. So it's hard to balance that with school and everything. But I think we're doing a pretty good job. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah, I'm kind of prioritizing the band over school.
Yeah,
The goal of the band is to be successful before band graduates college.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's true. Like, the music is so fun to do, and it's so fulfilling, and like, playing shows professionally, like in venues, is awesome and fulfilling, but also like, playing shows, like we played a show next door, we've played shows at frat houses and backyards, and you know, we're in a college town, so it's really wild and rad. We forget that the reason we're here in this college town is because we're actually in college. And like creatively it's hard, you know, producing music is hard. Creating music that you feel happy with. I feel like we all are really hard on ourselves, and we strive for a standard that, you know, we really like try to emulate the people who inspired us. So we don't really like to settle for music that is, I don't know.
Subpar.
Sure.
Some writing music. Like there's 6 of us and we all got like very different influences, so there's a lot of creative conflict sometimes.
There's a lot of compromise and you know, relinquishing and standing firm, like setting boundaries or giving up boundaries to like for the communal purpose of the band. You know, and then recording music has also been an absolute bitch too.
That's hard.
Just everything on a college budget has just been like, just because it's on a college budget, it's like we can't just like drop 4,000 or 400 or I don't know.
We should have just skipped to the part where we're rich, you know?
Yeah, like it's like hard to just like produce, like recording is such an important part of music, so it's certainly been hard to do that as well.
What's the process when you first made a song? Like, how did that come along?
I think it's like
the idea.
yeah, it's like I think I don't know. You guys can say it's. I mean, I play drums. I don't write them. But like usually someone has like the majority of it done, or like whoever like has written the song will come and be like, "Yo, this is what I got so far," and they kind of like show it to the group, and then everyone puts their own like influence on it. That's like the main way we do it, and then sometimes someone like just has like a riff they like, and it's like not built out at all. So it's either someone has a lot of it and is showing us kind of how to play it, or it's like super bare bones and everyone just like we jam on it for like a couple hours and it like becomes a song.
Everyone really has their own way of writing. Ben, you certainly come to the practice space with like pretty much most of the song done.
Yeah, I'll like make the whole song just on my own in GarageBand, like every instrument. And then I'll come here and I'll show them the parts, but after I show them the parts, usually everyone kind of gives their own spin to the song.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes we don't listen.
It's
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah.
it's sort of like when like a director or screenwriter comes to like a movie set with a script or a play, like a screenplay, and then it's sort of like up to the actors to interpret the lines how they interpret the lines. Very much the same way. Still very much falls into the vision of the creator, but ultimately it takes a life on its own. Like certainly the music's like that.
I mean, a lot of our songs really are just jams. Like, someone will just propose a riff, and then we'll just jam over it, and it'll become a song.
Yeah, like most of the songs I've presented to the group, it's mostly been like a certain riff, and it's like, all right, guys, like, how do we make like 4 more minutes of this? How do we make 4 more minutes of this not be boring? You know what I mean? Because we can't play that same riff for 4 minutes.
My next question to follow up is, why is it important for all of you to stay creative?
It's a good question. It's so much more boring, like not doing creative stuff.
Covers
It's the
are boring.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason we're doing this is to create music. You know, we want to make something original and something different. So we're all trying to come up with new, interesting stuff.
Yeah, you should take this one. I feel like that hits home for you.
Yeah, you're quite a creative force.
That's very kind. I don't know. I would say battling complacency. To put it in a phrase I can use.
Yeah.
It's really, it's nice to like, you feel mundane in a lifestyle and you get to make art. And feel
Yeah.
It also, like, when you're standing, even if it's like 50 people, it feels like 10,000. Like, especially when you're
Yeah.
playing your own song, like it just feels like.
Yeah, because like being in a band is more than just like we're entertainers and we are artists as well. So like for us, it's like there is the fun idea of like sort of literally writing like mythology, if you will, like having these songs and creating stories that are just weird and don't make sense, lore. But then also like
Heavy more.
also on the other hand being like going up on stage and like being in front of people, and then it's like, yeah, like obviously we made this super cool art and like we're gonna make like literal art that you look at, or like video art or dress up or whatever. But we're also gonna like be sort of like actors, if you will. You know, so I mean, for me at least, it's like there literally is no other, like I have not known another way of living life than going out and like, I don't know, doing things like this, you know, like it's just, I think that's why a lot of us came together.
We have a lot of fun with our songs. Like,
Truly.
the lyrics are like stories, like wacky,
Yeah.
goofy stories, you know, just about random stuff. Some of our songs are connected in a way.
Yeah.
The
We
band
have-
called Sex Lore.
Yeah,
Some
we have
lore.
a band called Sex and
The sex verse.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Follow-up question is, what advice would you guys have for those who want to start writing something or pursue something similar to what your field of creativity is?
Just
Put it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
like,
do
just
it.
don't think about it. Just put something
Yeah.
out. That's
Like,
like
don't
People are like
worry.
so supportive.
Yeah,
Like-
don't worry about it being bad. Just
It's
do
like
it.
way easier than you think.
Like you're gonna
Like
like
just like make
Yeah.
yourself like sit down and just start doing something. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are gonna like people are gonna
And,
think
like you
it's
can
sick.
do it. Like you can make a song yourself. Like we've been making. Like we made a couple of songs just ourselves in our dorm room, and we also just made a song in like a professional studio. And like the studio one's obviously gonna be better, but the one we made in our dorm just for completely free, all ourselves, ended up great.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It sounds like a great song.
and they're on Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, and I'd just say like as far as being in a band, you know, being in a band is like another level of awesome when it comes to music. I know a lot of singer-songwriters have a good time singer-songwriting by themselves. It's hard. I've seen a lot of singer-songwriters just struggle with like finding a reliable guitarist or drummer. You know, form a band.
And just
Get a group of guys that you really like love to be around, you know, that you can trust and that you can like it becomes a brotherhood really fast, you know, and like to manage that, put yourself behind and like don't come into the situation only wanting what you want, because it literally is like if you think like a marriage or relationship's hard, you know, with a partner. Imagine having like 4 other guys. You know, there's a lot of
imagine
balance.
being married to 5
Yeah, there's a lot. Imagine being married to 5 people. Yeah, you know, you have to like balance like everyone's wants.
Yeah.
You know, so like you really can't come into the situation being like, this is what I want, and it's not going to be any other way. It really is about communication and compromise. So
Yeah.
you have
But do it. It's
to
sick.
do it. Put your ego aside.
It's super fun.
I like that. I like that. When you guys perform, how do you guys get the crowd going? How do you guys start?
You just show up.
ABBA.
What's the first song that's to play?
What was, sorry, what was the question?
What was the first song that you play when you get started?
Like when we open a set?
Yeah.
Right now we got a cool little western gizzard tune. It's like a really, no words really, just like kind of like a hype.
Epic. Yeah.
It's very epic and it's like, oh, it like kind of builds up and it transitions into a nice little Zeppelin tune. Something
Yeah.
that, and it's just, we want energy right off the bat, you know?
Yeah.
Set
Yeah.
the stage.
I used to do theater too, so to get in the crowd going is a lot of being theatrical. You know, moving around and talking to the crowd. I think that's a big thing that sets us apart. A lot of crowd interaction.
Oh, and that crowd surfing moment.
Yeah, they wanted that.
It's a bold crowd.
Yeah. They almost dropped it. On to Ben.
You get a crowd surfing moment every performance.
Oh no, that's the first time I ever crowd surfed. It was awesome. Well, I've crowd surfed at like concerts that I was not performing at. Remember that time Derek Daisy? At Halloween, Halloween last year. Yeah, so that was the first time ever performing in crowd surfing.
Pretty rad.
Yeah, how do you guys get like crowd that people have? What do you guys do?
I think you just look like you're having
Like a sick riff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think we put a lot of effort into, like we put a lot of effort into being tight and impactful and succinct. You know, so for
Yeah.
us it's like I think that really helps. You know. But,
Consistent.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty loud.
Perfect.
High volume usually works.
When was your guys' first performance altogether?
February 19th, 2022.
Our 1 year anniversary is
Isla
like.
Vista, Santa Barbara, UCSB. We.
Oh wait, we weren't all together.
I wasn't there for that.
Oh,
He wasn't there for that technically. So we were the first official band called Sex gig was February 19th in Isla Vista. We had a friend in Santa Barbara, and we didn't know anybody around here yet. So like at UCLA, so we went to another university that had a much more lively live music scene. But he got COVID and he couldn't come. We had to find some completely other guitarist who was like so talented, but not necessarily.
He was a chiller.
He was a chiller.
He was a chiller.
He was a chiller.
What was the first show with all of us?
TDS.
Probably TDS.
probably.
Yeah.
Frat.
But so many, they all just blend together.
No, yeah. We played at a frat.
Yeah, like frat shows.
One frat that threw us in the backyard to have fun.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna follow with this question is, what's the biggest challenge with your craft that many people aren't aware of?
Probably balancing live performance and studio time, or like recording songs. Like, it takes a lot to prepare for like a live show. Like, you gotta go through your set. And that's a completely different kind of practice than if you're trying to like record a song and write a song and make a song. And when you're trying to balance building a fan base, going out, doing shows, having fun, and then you're also having to balance like trying to make a lasting artistic impact and like have something out there, have something on Apple Music or Spotify. It's just like, it's hard to balance the time between those two things, and a lot of times we have to decide between the two. Like, are we gonna prepare for the show, or are we gonna try and make a new song?
Yeah, we've had fresh songs that are like maybe 75% done, just sitting in the fridge waiting to get cooked up, and we just haven't been able to get to it because we just have been like prioritizing performance to get a fan base and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the recording, it's like at first it was just making music and playing music, which was like the balance, right? But now it's making music, playing music, and recording music, right? Because it's a whole different ball game. So
Yeah, it's a lot.
Also, just like getting any time with 6 people that are like trying to graduate school and shit. Like just like getting any time is
Yeah.
kind of hard.
Yeah.
it's like
Setting up for shows is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Like when we like play a show, if we're like
Oh,
on
yeah.
at 9,
Right.
but there are like 6, and then we spend like an hour setting up, and then like the
Like
other
2
bands,
hours.
like 2 hours setting up, the other bands play, and then we play for like 2 hours, and then it's like 2 in the morning, and we clean up, and then we leave.
And then
So, like-
we finally get everything packed and like we're done. It's like 3:30 in the morning. It's like fuck, we haven't eaten in like 6 hours. The only thing that's open is like Denny's.
Denny's, McDonald's.
And then you're expecting your $100 for playing, and
they don't
and you're
pay
like,
you.
oh, what are you doing?
37 cents for playing.
Do you mean like more as like also like like craft as in like the respective instruments, or just like the art, the craft of playing music?
Both. Like,
Sure.
Drums are pretty hard.
Oh, I definitely say we struggled a lot at first with like having 6 guys. You know, there's like sometimes 3 guitars and vocals and keys. There's so much sound going into like those mids. It's hard to just get everything balanced out and hear everyone, especially when you're playing really loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was tough.
Yeah. As a singer, my instrument is organic. and it is subject to organic.
Hey, what do you mean?
Your guitar is made of metal and wood.
Wood?
Dead matter. Yeah.
Being a musician.
No, like yeah, it's subject to being sick or tired or whatnot. So that's been hard. And just memorizing lyrics, it's great to like. But I mean,
Oh, the struggle.
Oh.
Your life is so hard.
hey, go ahead, tell me what you struggle with.
Honestly, it's so hard having 3 guitars and writing a part that's not like this adds something to the song. It's so much harder than being a singer.
Yeah, sometimes Ben writes a song and he comes up to me, he's like, so it's like, and he's like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'll play that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
pretty easy,
question. How do you guys manage to fit your schedules all together?
Not well.
We practice like
6
twice
days
a
to
week.
7.
Yeah.
Is there like
How do we manage? Barely.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have our times a week that we practice. Like, we just, at the beginning of the quarter, we're like, okay, when can we meet up?
Yep.
And usually it's about 2 times a week.
Yep. Yeah, 2 times seems healthy.
in the time that you spend by yourself, what do you use within that time?
Personally, I just write music usually in my free time or when I'm not here. I just write, I work on music, try and make new songs constantly usually.
Yep.
What do you do, Trey?
I enjoy playing bass. I don't think too critically about it.
Those are all active practices of self-care right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Following up is, when and how did you guys realize that your passion, the art that you make, wasn't just a phase?
I'm not sure for sure about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Maybe it's just a really long phase.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like so fun. It's like hard to imagine not doing it, just because like while you are doing it, it's like such like a fun experience.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like imagine not doing it.
I think it has a lot to do with conformity too. You know, you kind of have to like grow up and find your social groups and determine which one you fit into. And I think for a lot of people, they think, well, you know, this kind of fits me in like an out group in a way, right? Because it's like being, you know, we're kind of all weird guys, so it's like we're certainly.
Not that weird.
Speak for yourself.
We found our fellow indie kids.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, don't call us indie.
No, we're not like the other bands.
No, but it's like for us, it's like you know, it was like being like, this is who we really like to be, and you know, regardless of you know what everyone else, you know, like how different everyone else is, like this is us, and from there we stuck with it and found people who were like us. I think, yeah,
Yeah. Also, it feels like it's been going on for like a super long time, but it's been like a year. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't actually been that long.
yeah.
It's been a good year though.
What are some pivotal moments that has happened within this year that stuck out the most for the band?
Whiskey Go Go.
Yes, we played at the world famous Whiskey Go Go.
How'd
Yeah.
that go?
Killer.
Great.
Right? Playing at a.
It was okay. No.
Yeah, we're going back. Actually, tomorrow.
Playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know when this interview comes out, but.
But February 13th it was the day we were playing the Whiskey for the second time.
It went great.
It went great that second time.
We know.
People from the future. For me, man, I would say like that whiskey night was incredible. Like just
Definitely.
it felt like, but also.
Yesterday was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
first
yes.
professional.
We spent like 11 hours in like a professional studio with like all these crazy instruments, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like unreal.
Like a bunch of vintage gear from like the 60s.
Yes. Like they have to keep telling us to be quiet because like, someone's recording and the rest of us just like want to play.
That's our
everything.
biggest struggle as a band, is none of
Yeah,
us can
well
stop
said.
playing.
Yeah, that's
Well
true.
said.
I think when we finished first school year, that was a pivotal moment, and like we went away for the summer, and it was like kind of the only time in like in our our musical journey that we were away for so long, and like it was such a special moment because we all were kind of like, well, this was the year that we're done, we're going away, we're going home. Trey and I obviously all went down to San Diego, right? But you know, Kendall lives up north, and Spectre lives in a different county, and Ben lives across the country. So it was just cool to know that like when we came back, it was just like, all right, like we're serious about this. You know, like time to pick right back up and get off. So like start where we started, or start where we left off. You know, I like that personally.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that was a great moment. We all said our goodbyes. Like, hey man, thanks for jamming. You know. So.
Alright. So what's next? What's next for the band?
EP.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Album.
EP,
Album?
Yeah.
some more venues, hopefully. The list was sick. We want to play at some more.
Like the
Plays.
Troubadour, like the Viper Room, all those like
The
classic
Roxy, like the
LA
ones that.
venues.
Yeah,
Mm.
that'd be sick.
Yeah. I think like what's made this band so fun is it really is just each step, you know, one step at a time. Take the opportunities that are given to us, and we just do our best to perform well. So we don't really like. I don't really think are we a really big picture band? I don't really think so.
What I'm really looking forward to is practice after this.
Next step, practice after this.
Where do you see the band go next year? What's next year?
That's a
looking
great question.
Super good
It's-
question.
Yeah,
I don't think we
depends.
know.
Yeah, we
don't
really no idea.
Yeah.
We're all graduating. Some of us are gonna go to grad school, maybe not. Some of us are gonna work regular jobs that will certainly make a lot more money at the start than being in a band, but we don't know.
Literally any amount of money is more.
We don't know for sure. It really depends on how things go. You know, if we get that little cap and gown and chuck the hat into the air, and after it we're still pretty stoked about this whole band thing, then we'll probably give it a year before considering entering the adult world. Whack.
Sounds like what you have here has so much potential for,
Mm.
and so much room for everyone to hear.
Certainly.
Art.
Thank you very much.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
No,
thank
thank
you
you
guys.
guys.
Cause when you come around